This time I'm talking to you about how I learned how to read tarot. I actually had a young lady, send me a message via YouTube underneath the video, and she was saying how she was a beginner and she really was enjoying tarot and all that, but it's like she's trying to get into the groove of things with it, trying to get into the swing of things. So let me tell you, I've shared a whole lot about tarot, but I feel like I didn't actually answer this question directly like this. And I didn't get this question before, but this is so helpful. I love how spirit works because I do have a way that I learn tarot. I do have a story. Everybody has a story behind why they're doing what they're doing, and here's mine. What happened was, I had always had an interest with in occult things and metaphysical things and things outside of the scheme of what was considered to be your regular normal. And so I always wanted to kind of know what was going on under the surface, what lied beneath. But there were certain things that I was not, I didn't have access to. I didn't know about this question because no one's asked me this specific question, this specific way, very straight to the point. So let's dive in. The way I learned to read tarot was learning the art of divination. The other stuff I learned was how to work with other things like scrying. I learned how to do yes and no. I learned how to use oracles that answer yes and no and maybe questions. I also learned how to use coins for tarot and shells, and I learned how to use tools that you hand make with your own hands. Also, you may have heard of the Chinese oracle called I Ching. I learned how to read that. There's other things that I did learn how to read also, but I won't get into those. So, basically, learning how to read tarot, I was also learning how to use other tools because sometimes when I was reading, I would want more of a defined answer. I wanted to give the clients I had and the people that came to me the best reading. And so I try to cover many bases. I also learned how to read tarot by seeing and forecasting and looking into the past, present, and future. And yeah, that's a big part of tarot reading and divination for me, was using the other tools along with tarot. Doing those things, also keeping the notes. I had built up a tarot journal. Before that, though, I'd use a notepad. I love using notepads, but I'd write some of the directions, whatever the directions were on how to read a specific type of oracle. I'd write directions down for myself. I'd go back and read it, those instructions over and over again. I would practice doing hundreds of readings. I'd ask the questions. I practiced how to ask the questions. And that was very important because when I was studying with Ra'un Nepharamin, with the group of Saraset, it was very important that you get your question right. You can't even begin to get an answer if you don't have your question right. So doing tarot readings, doing divination started helping to organize my thoughts. It started helping to organize my thinking and my thought process. And I started asking the right questions more and more. But at first I started off with asking, I really dived all the way deep. And I tested the tarot. I tested by many means, many ways. And then after I learned the tarot and I practiced it and I worked it and I really became, I'd say, people would say professional, then I went back to being a beginner again. And I let myself be a beginner and play in, learning again, learning more, looking at it from a different angle. So many things came from tarot. I've used tarot to write books with. I've used tarot to write short stories, to heal, to do path working, to do shadow work, inner child work, artwork. I'm working on a tarot deck right now. So many things with tarot. Meditations with tarot. I have some for sale on my website, naturallyhighlife.com/shop. I've even sold some on other websites, and people love those tarot meditations that I had done. Communicating with my spirit guides was huge with tarot. I mean, you can look at a whole lot of different divination tools, but not all of them are going to work with certain people, depending on what your gift is, what your sixth senses are, which ones are really open more than others. Certain tools are going to work better for you than others. So, if tarot is something that you're still exploring and you're looking to see if this is a thing for you, you're in the right place, because all you do is just play with it. Get a very general deck, and then let's go through my videos, get you some tea, coffee, and let's build, let's talk intuitive tarot, let's connect. Because no matter what you read, you're going to create your own definitions for the cards, even if they are the ones that somebody else is using. You're going to decide what works best for you. So I'm just here to support you in discovering more of who you are, as I love using tarot as a self-discovery tool over anything else. It supersedes all things to me. Soon, let me know, like I said, if there's anything else you'd like to know, and I'm going to be putting out that video that tells you about the tarot cards that I actually have and recommend. And those are 20 decks, 20 different decks. And I do have my favorites. I do. So I'll talk to y'all. Peace.